Hey guys, it's Ethan here from Sips Collection. Welcome back to the Sips Collection YouTube channel. On today's episode, we are drinking 4 different Lingtou Dancong Oolong teas. Yes, you heard that right. 4 different Dancong teas. So let's just get right into the action here with this extravagant tea session per se. Alright, so the first Lingtou Dancong tea is this beauty right here. If we can focus, this is a Lingtou Dancong Oolong tea. So the 百叶 varietal is definitely a more uncommon varietal for Dancong teas, and it is mainly found in Raoping Xian, which is where Lingtou is lah. Yeah, so we're going to drink some of this 百叶 Dancong Oolong. This tea we got from our farmer in Lingtou. So yeah, it was quite a journey there when we went there last time. It definitely took a few hours just to drive there from Fenghuangzhen, which is the main area of Dancong teas. And after Lingtou, I still remember us taking another few hours going to Shantou, where we met another tea farmer or tea producer in Shantou. So there was just a few hours of traveling just to meet 1 or 2 tea producers and tea farmers, and we were able to get these samples of Lingtou Dancong Oolong tea for us to try here today and for you to watch. Yes, so we actually have 4 Lingtou Dancong teas today, and we're starting off with the cheapest and we'll end off with the most expensive tea. So the first one that we're drinking is this 百叶 Dancong. Well, 百叶 Dancong isn't too uncommon. I mean, you'll definitely see some of it online. It's definitely not the most uncommon tea in the world, but it is still relatively rare compared to your Milan xiangs and your Yashi xiangs and your whatever xiangs that there is with Dancong. They love naming it after fragrances, don't they? But 百叶 Dancong is named after a fragrance, it's named after the leaf. Take a look at these leaves and the smell. It is floral, it is bright, it is quite, it has this kind of minty note to it that is quite bright, it's quite sharp. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a Yashi xiang actually. Those dark shade Oolong tea with that bright, sharp notes to it. The rinse. If you're new here to Sips Collection YouTube channel or Sips Collection in general, we do tea reviews of the teas that we get when we source the teas from China and Taiwan. So these are our samples that we get from farmers, from tea producers, and we want to share them with you, even though we may not be able to share them on our website because, you know, some of them, well, most of them don't pass. So they don't pass our tests. Only a select few pass our tests, and those are the ones that we put on our website. So yeah, okay, let's smell the wet leaf. A nice mix of almond nuts with that roasted minerality of a Dancong, but obviously not like a Yan Cha roasted minerality, but it has that slight minerality, and definitely that sharp note is less strong now. It's become more pungent, become deeper, but it is still quite sharp. It is still quite bright, this aroma. So honestly, I'll rate the aroma 8 out of 10. Not too bad. It's not extravagant, but it's not too bad indeed. Yeah, and the looks of the tea leaves is also an 8 out of 10 for me in my books. It is quite whole, consistent, but slightly dull in color. It is Not the most amazing dancong I've seen, but it definitely is pretty good enough. Yeah. So dancongs, we boil and abuse the tea leaves per se. 100 degrees Celsius water for around 15 seconds is how we steep dancongs. We use 8 grams in 100 ml kaiwan. So yes, this is our Sips Collection kaiwan. Get it at the Sips Collection store, www.sipscollection.com. Just being a sellout for a moment. Alright, first steep. Let me smell the lid. Good smell. Liquor, clear. You can see the tea tray at the bottom. The color, it is slightly dull, but it's quite a lighter color compared to most dancongs out there. It's light orange. Alright. So as I let the tea cool a bit to drink, because my lips are sensitive, 100 degrees water is pretty hot for me. I'm pretty sure it's pretty hot for most of y'all. Yeah, let's just talk about this Lingtou, or not Lingtou area. So this Lingtou area is in Raoping County, so it is a bit further distance away from the typical Fenghuangzheng Wudongsan Dancong Oolong teas where most of your dancongs are from. So yeah, you mainly split dancongs into 2 categories. One is from dancongs from Fenghuangsan, which is Phoenix Mountain, and the other one is Lingtou Dancong Oolong teas yeah, or Raoping Dancong Oolong teas. So you have Fenghuangsan, which is a higher elevation and more renowned, so teas are more expensive, and you have Lingtou, which is a lower elevation and less renowned, less well known, so the teas are cheaper. But that doesn't mean the quality of the tea is any different. In fact, I have tasted Lingtou dancongs that are amazing, well superior compared to their Fenghuang counterparts. So let's see if this tea mixes in with those superior Lingtou dancongs that I've tasted before. Cheers! It has that juiciness, honeysuckle, floral juiciness to it. But it is a bit short-lived, that juiciness. Oh wow. It transforms a bit actually, that juiciness, into this sweet 回甘 or return aftertaste that I'm not sure whether to like this tea or dislike this tea actually. It kind of has a short-lived juiciness. That juiciness really is what I look for in dancong, but it kind of has this short-lived juiciness, but it kind of slightly turns into a slight 回甘 in the back and the front of the mouth and the tongue. So yeah, a bit odd. Not sure what to make of it. Oh wow, but it has this nice mouthfeel to it. It's like this airy shan yun mouthfeel to it. If you don't know, shan yun is like yan yun for yan cha, but it's for dancongs instead. It has this character to it that really is quite interesting, really is quite nice. But still, that juiciness is really what I look for, and it's kind of lacking right now. Alright, second steep. As we brew the tea, let's talk about Dancong. This Dancong, or not this Dancong rather, Dancongs in general are my favorite, personal favorite tea category in the world. It is really floral, can be really fruity, can be really with a lot of high notes, and can be really juicy and can be really complex. This tea, especially good teas like good Dancongs, are really amazing. Yeah. And I've tasted some amazing Dancongs in my life. I've tasted Laocongs. I've tasted 100+ year old Dancongs. And in fact, I have a Moonshu on the way as well. Mother Tree Dancong on the way. That is exciting. I can't wait to taste that. Yeah. But yeah, I think Dancongs really are some of the most pinnacle teas out there in terms of taste and character. And I don't know if you agree with me. I'm pretty sure most of you don't, because y'all probably have a different favorite tea. But try a good Dancong and you come back to me. Yes, if you've tried a good Dancong, comment down below. What Dancong was it? Was it from Fenghuangzhen? Was it from Lingtou? And what varietal it is? Yes, 蜜兰香, 芝兰香, 黄枝香, which香? Cheers. Yeah, that juiciness is still there, but it is a bit short-lived. It has this nice sharp shan yu note that permeates through the mouth. Still not sure what to make of this tea. It's giving me on the fence vibes, really, this tea. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Anyways, continuing with the Dancong conversation. Dancongs are teas from Chaozhou in Guangdong province, which is in southeast China. And yeah, they're typically grown in this mountain called Fenghuangshan, Phoenix Mountain, which is north of Chaozhou. Yes, I've been there. It is an amazing climate for the growing tea. Definitely. It is also one of the most challenging to get up to, especially the Wudongshan and other parts of Fenghuangshan, the mountain range. It is quite difficult to get up to, but the climate is amazing for growing tea, and it's really cooling, and it's really one of the most magical tea growing places I've seen, that I've personally seen. Yeah, and the taste of the tea really matches that personality of the Dancong growing area. Yeah, and hopefully one day I'll get back there. Okay, third steep. It doesn't really have much of an aftertaste actually, this tea, which is quite sad. It's quite disappointing really. I'll give the taste 14 out of 20. Character a 7. Texture a 8. Finish and aftertaste a 7. Yeah, Tati also not much, with 5. Yeah, what's that? Let me do some math. Get the calculator out. 8 plus 8 plus 9 liquor plus 14 plus 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 5 is 66. I assume this Dancong can at least steep on average 7 to 8 steeps probably. It doesn't lose its taste actually, it's getting stronger. So I'd say this Dancong can last until steep number 10. It should be no problem. That would give it a 7. So this tea is maybe a 73 or 74. Wouldn't really pass the first round because The criteria for passing the first round is 75 and above, and I rarely give it to their borderline passes anyways. So yeah, this tea maybe not passing the round. Let's take a look at the leaves once again. Yeah. Anyways, third steep. Cheers. Look at the liquor. Clean as day. Yeah, the juiciness is kinda disappeared. Let me give the rest to Mr. Teapad. Yeah, it's disappeared. Okay, this tea clearly won't pass the test and it's not good enough for the sip selection range. So let's move on to the second Dancong. Alright, first Dancong done, 1 out of 4 done, and 3 more to go. Okay, welcome back. Dancong numero 2. So today we have a 肉桂香单丛 Oolong tea. 肉桂香单丛 Oolong tea. So look at those leaves, pretty whole, pretty nice, pretty vibrant. Is that a stem? Oh, there is a bit of stem. Okay, that's a bit concerning. But we'll ignore that for now. Okay, yeah, this is a 肉桂香, not to be confused with 肉桂, the 岩茶. 肉桂 means cinnamon, so this is cinnamon fragrance Dancong Oolong tea. Preheating the teaware. Again, we use 8 grams, 100 ml Kaiwan. Basically, the whole Kaiwan is full with Dancong leaves. In fact, in Chaozhou, they even use more Dancong leaves than I do, but I don't have the luxury to use that much. Actually, the aroma of this tea is rather weak. Yeah, it's rather weak. Let's say it's a 7 so far. Okay. Let's boil the water. So, yes, not to confuse yourself with 肉桂的岩茶, this is 肉桂香, another uncommon but not too uncommon varietal of Dancong, but it is more commonly found in Fenghuangshan, this kind of tea. Yes, so 肉桂香, not the first time I tried this kind of tea or this 肉桂香Dancong, but it is definitely not one that I commonly try. Yeah, so a bit excited about it. But judging from the aroma, maybe there's not much to be excited about. I don't know, we have to see the taste of this tea, of this Dancong tea. Yes. So let's pour out the rinse. Comment below if you've tried 肉桂香 before and tell me how it went. The lid has a bit of a watery smell. It's a bit weird. That cinnamon is, the cinnamon note is quite present. It is also a bit more mineral and rocky in terms of aroma. So very similar to a 肉桂 actually. That is a 岩茶 lah. So that's a bit interesting. Okay, let's pour the water for the first steep. So another thing about Dancong is obviously its vast amount of varietals of cultivars. There's so many xiangs and so many lao xingwangs and so many what other words are there to describe? Yeah, but there are so many varietals and cultivars that it's really hard to count all of them. Most of them are named after fragrances and flowers like Mi Lan Xiang, honey orchid, Zhilan Xiang, what else is there? Huang Zhi Xiang, which is yellow gardenia, or you have, wow, my mind is blanking. Yeah, you have other xiangs like Ya Shi Xiang, which is not really a flower, it's more of talking about duck shit, but that's not the fragrance actually. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, and there are other Dancong varietals as well lah, like Zhilan Xiang, Huang Zhi Xiang, Mi Lan Xiang, Tong Tian Xiang, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that I'm even forgetting all the names. Yeah, but you can see that most of them are named after fragrances, which is a very interesting way of naming your tea. But that's how they've done it in Chaozhou. Look at that liquor, clear. Yep, you can see the bottom is even more clearer. Okay, let's try. Cheers. I actually like the taste of this tea. Very There's that that 霸气ness, that arrogance and punchiness to it, like a road kueh exactly. Yeah. It has that mineralness to it that kind of reminds me of Yan Yun, but in like a Dancong fashion, to say the least. I don't know how to describe, but it is very interesting. Still has a juiciness that I look for. It has that mouthfeel. It has that 回甘. Let me see how this tea performs when brewed for longer. Do share how you brew your Dancongs. Let me lift this down. Do you brew in Western style, Kung Fu style, or I don't know, maybe Grandpa style for some crazies out there? Why would you brew Dancongs Grandpa style? How many leaves you use, what temperature water, etc. I would love to know. Dancong is such a vast world of tea, vast part of tea, and because of that means there are a vast amount of methods to brew this tea. So there's definitely no one single consensus in how to brew Dancong. Not really like Yancha where, you know, everything is packed in 8.3 gram packets and everyone brews them 8.3 grams. Dancong is a bit more free and easy. A lot of people just we call it agar-agar, or just estimate it. They just powder gaiwan with a huge amount of leaves. So, well, one or the other really. Yeah, and in Chaozhou they actually use smaller gaiwans and smaller cups. So to use less leaf, because Dancongs are expensive, to use less leaf and also to not really drink that much tea lah. Yeah, but they still drink a lot of tea. Yeah, but the cups are smaller, the gaiwans are smaller. They use 100 degrees water. In fact, they boil the water so much that I feel like it's more than 100 degrees, but I know that's not possible. Yeah, the water that they use is really, really, really hot. Really, really boiling. Yeah, they just 滚那个水啦, 滚那个水 to really astounding levels, really. Just keep on boiling and boiling. fact, if you didn't know, Chaozhou is the home place of Kung Fu brewing, so I feel like it's only right to brew Dancong in a Kung Fu way. In fact, they also have Chaozhou teapots, which I also have one, but for the sake of taste testing and sampling and reviewing teas, we use porcelain because it is the most neutral brewing vessel. Yes, so the second steep, the color is darker. I brewed it for longer. Let's see how it tastes. Alright, cheers. I was kind of lost that minerality to it that was quite special, and kind of replaced it with slightly more bitterness. I mean, still there, that juiciness and slight minerality, but it's definitely less, and there's a slight more bitterness to it. Maybe I brew it for longer, but that's also kind of the point, to test the tea and to really abuse the tea leaves to get the best and the worst out of it. So yeah, but this tea kinda is not really performing that well in the second steep. Let's try one more steep. Yeah, it kind of has that slight bitterness that is not really something I associate a lot or love with Dancongs, because Dancong shouldn't be bitter, they should be smooth, they should be floral, fruity, juicy, bursting, all those tasting notes that are lovely. Slight bitterness is fine, but nothing too astringent or too bitter. In fact, some bitterness will keep the tea interesting, but yeah. Also, the finish and aftertaste of this tea is a bit weak, so there's that. So looks wise, because I see a bit of stamps in there. I rated at 8, aroma an 8, liquor a 9, taste I'll probably rate it at 14 as well. Character I'll give it an 8, it's more character than the previous tea. Texture wise a 8, finish and aftertaste a 7, cha qi wise a 5. Yeah, so this tea is around the same, has the same score as the previous tea. So not too much difference, just a bit different profile and character, but overall still roughly the same quality, which speaks volumes to the price of the tea as well, because they're also roughly the same price. Yeah, and I mean, they definitely aren't as expensive as your Fenghuang Shan Dancongs lah, but they're also roughly the same price. Yeah, and honestly roughly the same quality as other even Fenghuang Shan Dancongs that I taste around the same price lah. Yeah, so nothing too special, nothing too terrible either, but just not good enough. The liquor is darker. Okay, third sip. Yeah, this tea has lost the plot. Kinda is slightly watery now. Not much in terms of flavor, just slight bitterness, but that minerality has long gone. It's gone somewhere else. It really is a first steep kind of tea. So good in the first steep, but just disappear afterwards. That's kind of sad. It just lets me down a little bit. In fact, I'll just give the rest to Mr. Teapot. Okay, so second tea not so great, first tea not so great. Yeah, it's hard to find the good teas, isn't it? Yeah, okay, let's move on to the third tea now. Yeah, I'll change the Kaiwan and get more water. Alright, number 2 done, 2 more to go. Alright, welcome back. Just a reminder, this is Sip's Collection's Dancong tasting review from Lingtou. And we have the third Dancong for today. Let me heat up the teaware first. Alright, so this is the third Dancong. Look at those leaves, slightly open leaves and not fully rolled, or twisted, not really consistently twisted, so I'll give that a bit of a penalty to the tea rating. But other than that, a pretty alright looking tea. So this tea is a 鸭十香 Dancong Oolong tea, a 鸭十香 or the duck shit Dancong varietal Oolong. Just a bit of history of this duck shit oolong tea. It doesn't really smell like duck shit or taste like duck shit or any poo for that matter. It just tastes like great tea most of the time. Yeah, but the farmer who found this varietal really didn't want others to steal his secrets and know what makes this tea really great tasting, so he just named it duck shit tea, or that is the story is supposed to be. Yeah, so that's the kind of the history behind the name of duck shit Dancong Oolong tea or duck shit fragrance. 鸭十香. They also have another name for it now, a less vulgar name, 樱花香, or directly translated to like silver flower fragrance. I'm not really sure what silver flower is, but yeah, 樱花香. Alright, the aroma, does it smell like duck poo? Probably not. Very light fragrance, nuanced yet not weak, but light and airy fragrance. It kind of has this aura around it that's like airy and like ethereal in a sense. Yeah, honeysuckle definitely is there, sweet honey notes, floral indeed. A good smell, so far so good. Very common smell of 鸭十香 actually, this kind of ethereal note to it. So I'm not too surprised or too shocked or too wowed by the smell, but it is a great smell. It is a lovely smell indeed. Yeah, so let's boil the water 100 degrees Celsius and get the rinse underway. Look at those bubbles. Alright, let me know if you've tried 鸭十香 before, duck shit fragrance oolong tea. It's one of the more common fragrances of cultivars out there for Dancong. Yeah, but it's also increasing in price, unfortunately, so there's that. Yeah. This varietal originates from Hongshan in this village called Pinkengtou, so which is east of Wudongsan. So I guess the Dancong or the duck shit Dancong from there is the best, but this one is from Lingtou, which is from a completely different county anyway, so let's try it. That mineral smell. Pungent, deep, mineral, earthy smell. I mean, earthy not like shoupu, but earthy as in this kind of slight rocky, slight mineral smell and aroma to it. It's not a bad aroma, but it isn't something amazing, doesn't really wow me that much. I'll give it 8 out of 10. Give some to Mr. Teapot. Alright, yet again we are brewing at 15 seconds, 100 degrees Celsius, 8 grams for 100 ml. That was a bit hot, slightly scalded myself. Yeah, so this is very standard parameters that we're using to test all our dancongs that we get from our tea suppliers and farmers and all those who support us. Yes, so hopefully I'll get a dancong to you on the online store. I definitely have one that I thought was really good that, well, I didn't manage to record the tasting of that one, but it was really good. It was a lovely tea. You'll find out which one that is when you visit www.sipscollection.com soon. Well, we haven't got the tea yet. It's actually, I'm gonna let the supplier know that I'm choosing the tea, but yeah, it is a great tea. Alright, oops. Liquor wise, a bit more yellow, definitely still clean. A 9 out of 10 indeed. Alright. Okay, let me just let the water cool down a bit because my hands are scalding. Yeah. And yeah, so maybe just to share a bit more about the time in Fenghuangshan and in Chaozhou. We really were so lucky to meet a lot of good people in the area who helped us out, who drove us around, who allowed us to visit different places. One of the most memorable places that we visited was Daantun in Oolong, where we saw the 600-year-old tea trees, or supposedly 600-year-old tea trees of the Songzong varietal, which was amazing. Unfortunately, we don't get to taste that tea. That tea definitely is not something that we can get our hands on, but definitely interesting to look at the leaves, to look at the tea bush itself. 600-year-old tea tree. It's just crazy to think about it. I really wonder what the taste is. And lucky for me, I got a supplier who has a Lingtou Dancong, so he only has Sanjing left, which is like 1.5 kg. So he's giving me not free, I wish it was free, but he's giving me a sample of it to taste. Yeah, that tea really is expensive. Just a few dollars per gram per se, just to put it out there. Yeah, so let's taste this Ya Shi Xiang Dancong tea. Well, it tastes like dancong. A bit light. Yeah, a bit light. Slightly weak. Let's brew it for longer. It kind of has this slight light character to it that is quite common with Ya Shi Xiangs, but it doesn't have a character, doesn't have that structure or body to the taste and to the flavor that is kind of what I look for in Dancong, and definitely also doesn't have that juiciness that I look for in Dancong either. So not the best tea so far, doesn't really impress me off the bat, but we'll see the second steep what it holds and what it entails for us. Yes. Also, another thing, Sips Collection just launched 2 new products, 2 new teas. Really exciting. Those are Gushu, Pu'er and Bai Cha from Yunnan, Mengku Dashishan. So, big snow mountain in Mengku. Lingtang area, Pu'er and Bai Cha, Pu'er tea and white tea. So, go to the website to try that, buy it. We don't have that many, it's Dragon Ball, so we don't have that many Dragon Balls. Yeah, and they are made of 200+ tea tree material, or Gushu tea tree material, ancient tree material from Dashishan. So definitely an amazing tea. Just by hearing all those descriptors and all those names of the tea. The Pu'er is 2020 vintage, the Bai Cha, the white tea, is 2021 vintage. So the white tea is 3 years old, the Pu'er is 4 years old. Yeah, so get them on our store. They were from a good friend of ours who we met in Taiwan how many years ago now? 3 years ago? 3 years ago? Yeah, and he has been giving us great tea to try ever since. So yeah, he owns a tea shop in Taiwan and his teas are great. But as usual with Pu'er and with a lot of teas in China, a lot of things are kept a secret. So some things we just don't know. Unfortunately, we cannot go to his farm, not farm, it's his tea garden, his tea tree bushes this year. So, well, they're not bushes, they're huge trees. I've seen the photos of them. But maybe one day we'll go. Yeah. Alright, second steep of this Ya Shi Xiang Dancong. Will it disappoint me further? Let's see. The answer is yes. Life is too short for bad tea. Just gonna give the rest to Mr. Teapot. I'll tell you what's wrong with this tea. This tea just doesn't have enough character. It's too simple. It doesn't have a body, it doesn't have structure to it. The taste is just all those high notes that just fade away immediately after going into the mouth. And also, the second steep has slight bitterness to it, which is not really characteristic of a Ya Shi Xiang or any Dancong that I would want in my Civ Collection online store. So yeah, just not great really. So far, 3 out of 3 not so great teas. In fact, it's that not great that I am just not going to continue the session and move on to the next tea. So the looks wise, it is an 8. The aroma's an 8, the liquor's a 9. The taste, I'll give it a 13. Character, I'll give it a 6. In fact, texture 7. Finish aftertaste 7. Cha tea wise, a 5. So this is 63. This tea probably would barely scrape or not even make 70. So that is in the range of not recommended at all teas. So below 70 is just not recommended at all. Like disappointing teas. Yeah, I have high expectations. Okay, let's just change tea. Life is too short for bad tea, so let's just move on. Alright. Number 4. Okay, 4th and final Dancong of this Dancong extravaganza session where the teas have not been so extravagant so far. Let's hope this tea changes that, and let's hope we get something that surprises us, let's say. So this 4th Dancong that you see here is a 八仙 Dancong Oolong tea. So 八仙 Dancong, 8 Immortals Oolong tea. Also uncommon, but not too uncommon varietal. In fact, it's getting more and more common. Yeah, so let's preheat the tea ware. 八仙 Dancong Oolong tea, not a xiang this time, but definitely I feel from my past experiences a more high note kind of Dancong. In fact, I haven't found a single 八仙 Dancong that I've liked so far in my life, so let's maybe hope that this one changes that. Yeah, so just something about 八仙 Dancongs that I don't really personally like, so maybe this one will change my mind. This one will change my world around, and we'll see about that. Yeah. Alright, so 八仙 Dancong. This is a reminder that all 4 teas are from the same supplier in Lingtou, the same farmer. So we've got 4 of his teas. In fact, we got 5 of his teas. The one of them I tried off camera. And these are his other 4 teas. Let's see. Again, a full Gai one. 8 grams, 100 ml. Let's give it a smell. I've gotta say, It has a unique plum aroma. That is odd. I've never had a plum aroma in Dancong before, but it has this like plum peachy aroma. Not peach, but stone fruit, plum, sweet plum aroma. That is very odd. Well, odd, not in a bad way. It is very interesting. Never had that before. Wow, okay. Let's see what the wet leaf brings us. Bubbles galore with this tea. Again, 15 seconds, 100 ml, 100 degrees Celsius, all the shebang that is normal with Dancong's. Yeah, so Dancong. Let me know if you've tried a Basian before. Let me know what you've thought of it. That plum aroma is still there. In the Kai one there at least. This has such a unique aroma to a Dancong. This kind of has a leathery, fresh car aroma. That's odd. Odd way of describing the aroma, but a leathery, fresh car, like stepping into a new car aroma. Wow, okay. That aroma is a 9 out of 10. The best of the lot so far. The looks also was a 9 out of 10. So, this tea so far so good. Maybe this tea will surprise me. It is also the most expensive tea. So, maybe that's not that surprising. Basians nowadays are getting more and more expensive. Out of the selection of teas that I get from farmers and suppliers, for the Dancong's, Basians are one of the more expensive ones. In fact, most of them, Basians are the most expensive. So, yeah. I guess that says a lot about the Dancong tea market nowadays. They're moving away from Yilanxiangs, they're moving away from Laoxiangwengs, and they're moving to Yashixiangs and to Basians. Maybe higher fragrant notes and more sharp, piercing notes. That's what they're looking for nowadays, I guess. The Chinese tea market. Alright, let me wait for the tea to cool down a bit. So, yeah, as I was saying, Dancongs really are a great tea type at least. Yeah, and in fact, there are so many Dancongs out there that you really probably cannot drink every single one in your lifetime. Maybe you could, but if you try it really hard, but unlikely. Yeah, but they're also really expensive. Some Laocong Dancongs, Old Bush Dancongs, and more famous varietals like Basians especially are getting more and more expensive. Yeah, so that sucks for someone like me who just loves to drink tea and wants to drink Dancong every day. But good for the farmers, I guess. Yeah. In fact, these farmers aren't just any farmers. They're pretty affluent per se. I went to Chaozhou and went to Fenghuangzhen, and many of them have marble houses, have nice new cars. Yeah, so don't think of them as poor or run down. They really are quite affluent, to say the least. Yeah, so, and this is not just the case for Chaozhou or Dancongs. This is the case for many different types of teas out there, tea farmers. I've seen those in Tieguanin, Anxi County, in Uishan definitely, in Futing definitely. Yeah, so affluent, that's the right word. Alright, let's try this tea. Liquor, not bad, 9 out of 10. That plum taste is still there. But it kind of manifests itself in a weird note. A note that I don't really like in Dancong's. Sour. That note is sour notes. This tea is puckering. Slightly astringent, which keeps the mouthfeel active, which is good. But that sour note really just kind of kills it for me. Almost reminds me of the Pasians I've had before. Just not great in terms of taste. Let's try the second steep. The aroma was so promising, but the taste, just not my cup of tea. Kind of leaves this metallic taste in the mouth, which is a bit odd. Tastes like some slight kerosene note, which is not great to say the least. Yeah. Wow, okay. I really not the most keen on this tea. Oh, that's so sad. All 4 teas are disappointing. I wished one of them was good at least, so that I could select a Lingtou, Yahasaxiang or Lingtou, Xiang, but maybe it's just not to be this year. Also, do join Sips Collection's Tea Club, www.sipscollection.com/pages/tea club. We're starting on the 1st of May, our inaugural tea club, and we have a good number of sign-ups so far, which is quite, we're belching already. It's quite exciting and quite promising. Yeah, to have so many of you support us. And yeah, hopefully more can join the tea club to learn more about exotic and unique and rare Chinese and Taiwanese teas that you can't really find elsewhere on the market. That's the genre of the teas that we select for the tea club. Cheers! Yeah, that's just not a note that I want in a dancong. Maybe in a black tea, but not a dancong. This plum note. Wow. Yeah, no. Just no. Yeah, no. The taste is like a 12 or 11 out of 20. Nice. Alright, so looks is 9, aroma is 9, liquor is 9. Great start, but the taste is just 12. So that's what, 39, then plus character is a 7, texture quite nice, a 9, Finish and aftertaste, an 8. Cha tea wise, maybe a 6. So that's 69. Steepability, assume it's average, that would be probably a 7 out of 10. So that's 75. Yeah. You may say it passes round 1, but the taste just kills it for me. Not good enough. Not good enough, these 4 dancongs. I was going to say something like, wow, these are amazing dancongs in the title, but that's just clickbait at that point. So yeah, for so-so dancongs, this one really taking the cake as a note that I would not want to find in my dancong, that plum note. So yeah, disappointing. Alright, then that will be it for the 4 dancongs from Lingtou that we've drunk today. Do share your thoughts in the comments. Share if you have drunk Lingtou Dancong before Baiya Dancong, Yashi Xiang, Ru Gui Xiang, and Ba Xian. And let me know how you feel about them as well. Alright, head over to sipscollection.com to get amazing teas for your selection. Green teas, oolong teas, white teas, yellow teas, black teas, and pu'er teas. We all have those. Alright. That's all. Yes. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.